It's Gypsy Man, and I just can't leave well enough alone. I can't stop messing with this gun. I just want to know everything about it. So, of course, what I did was I ordered a sear spring, and I think that's just the art of this gun is just getting the trigger to the weight that you like to have it at. So far, factory, the trigger is at, let's check it out. Let's check it out. No edits. No edits. Okay, that was a little on the heavy side. That one pulled at about 6. When I noticed, in fact, this gun pulls at about 4.5, a little over 4. So it's probably in a bad spot. All right, so that's about where it pulls normally. I could do this over and over again. And it pulls at about just under 4.5 every time. So let's take it apart. Let's play with this spring. And no, I'm not a gunsmith, but it's my gun. And I'm just going to use a little common sense, a few YouTube University courses, and let's try it out. Let's get this down to about 3.5. And if I could show you Black Beauty pulls at a consistent about 3.5, maybe sometimes a little bit less. But let's see if we can get a quick boil. She wants to play around with us a little bit. Okay, so you can see that one pulled at under 4. Let's do a couple more. Let's do one more. I'm not even gonna waste my time doing something like that. So that was under 4. And again, it's under 4, a little over 4.5. So that's what I'm used to. And I like shooting that one. So if I can get this one at about 3.5, I'll be happy with that. So let's play with it. I'm going to do my safety checks. I'm going to make sure I don't have hammer follow. I'm going to do all the necessary precautions to make sure that I can use this gun properly. So let's go ahead and take it apart. And I already have most of it apart for the purposes of this video. And this is the first time I'm messing around with the spring. And I know like the spring is everything. For those who want to try it and they're not scared and they're not a gunsmith, let's try it out. So I know for right now, the easiest way to do this, you can do it without the beaver tail and test your trigger pulls, which is what we're going to do. But the most important thing that I've noticed from working with this, it wasn't necessarily if I was on the disconnector or the sear. Let me see if I can get this in focus. So basically the sear, the left leg has to be on the sear and the middle leg has to be on the disconnector when you install this in there and when you do all your bends. So that's when I'm gonna make sure that's happening with my bends. And if theory serves me, it should work for you gun nerds out there like myself. I just like everything mechanical. So I figure using common sense and a little bit of YouTube University, if I keep that disconnector and sear connected, I should be okay. But my problem probably has been, this is the OEM, and I marked the OEM on it. So I know if I ever got to go back to it, I know how it's supposed to operate. So I got a good feel for how it's supposed to feel. My thing is making sure that the safety engages. Okay. So this is the spring I'm working with. So I'm basically bending the spring, the middle one from the middle, the left one from up top. I'll bend that one and make sure I do a relief bend, and bending the safety spring, the grip safety spring up. And what I did was basically study how this one looks for that angle for the grip safety and pretty much duplicated it. I also noticed that this new spring, the grip safety leg was longer. So I grinded that down and smoothed it out to make sure I don't have any sharp edges, to the same length as the OEM. I also initially bent it to look like the OEM, and then I started to relieve some of the gap in the middle that's going to be touching the disconnect. And the sear, I pretty much made it look like the OEM. So let's try it out. You see how that worked. I got this one bent to where hopefully hopefully my safety works, my grip safety works. So I want to make sure I got all the safety things taken care of first, and you know, I can play with the the spring, the pull weight whenever, but I want to make sure that everything works with the grip safety, because I actually don't mind having my grip safety. So what I do is I'm going to leave the grip safety off right now. I'm just going to check the pull weight and get that done. So I'm just going to put the pin in there temporarily, and basically the first check that I'm going to check is that I get the half cock, because I know that that's a safety mechanism. So that's full cock. Let's do a half cock. All right, you heard the click. Let's do a full click and help it back, and let's do the check again. So we got that half cock position. I hear the click. We got our full click, help it back, and I'll just do that just do it as many times as you want to do it to make sure you have that half cock. Okay, so we have that taken care of. Let's put the slide back on. Let's put the slide back on and see how the weight feels. And we'll check to see if it's where I want it to be, which I believe, hopefully it is, just by looking at it. You know what I mean? Like, just by looking at the way the spring looked between, let me see if I can get in focus. See how wide that gap is? That's because there's more pressure with the disconnect onto the disconnect. So I just lightened up that disconnect a little bit. That's what I did. And I'm just doing a bench test right now. And when I get it to where I want it, I'm just gonna keep it there. All right. Let's try it again. We're not doing any edits. All right, so right now it's pulling right under 3.5. I'm actually good with that. I know some of these guns come with the, I know they come with a 2.5 pound trigger, and I've been working with a 4.5. So I figure a 3.5 to match my other gun will work with me just fine, because I'm kind of used to the feel. Okay, that pull was at 3. Let's do it again. Let's do it again and see what it's doing. That one was just over 3. Let's do it again. Just over 3. So I'm just over 3 pounds. I'm okay with that. I know people will go even lower, but I'm an amateur. I've never done this before. I think I'm safe at 3, and it's less than what it was, which was 4.5. So I took 1.5 pounds off the trigger pull. Now, more importantly, let's test the grip safety. So we got to make sure that my grip safety works for me. I know some people just go ahead and pin their grip safeties, but I don't have a problem with the grip safety. I've never had an issue with that. So right away, I noticed that it feels like how the OEM did. So if the pressure feels good, if you push up, there's no play in it. Okay, so it's all the way maxed out to the top. I guess I will say it's flush, and I can't wiggle it. So I know that I got the grip safety fully disengaged. So let's try to pull the trigger. I'm not going to edit. So if it's messed up, I'm just going to keep working with the bend, the right leg of the spring. I'm going to keep working with it. But so I got an issue, right? I feel like I have an issue and I don't like it. But now I don't have an issue. Now I do have an issue. So I'm going to keep working with that until I get it where I want it. Where I'm not having that issue. Because I'm not, and guess what? If it doesn't get right, I'm not going to use the spring. It's just that easy. And I'm going to keep working with it. But this is what it takes in order to get the correct. So I'm just going to grab it at the bottom and just bend it up. Just a little bit, just relief it. Then I'm going to put it back in and try it again. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I get it right. And if I don't get it right, I'm just not going to use the spring, and that's no sweat to me. I'll just bend the original spring. But for right now, if I know that I'm having an issue with the grip safety and everything else is working, then I know it has something to do with this leg right here. So that's what I'm gonna keep working with. It's Gypsy Man, this is what I'm doing, and I'm gonna keep working it. I'm not gonna work it on video, but I'm gonna keep working it until I get it right. Then I'm gonna live fire test it at the range, of course in a safe direction. So this is what I'm working on, trying to master this now. So Gypsy Man, I'm out.